Her message came at 2:37 p.m., just as my plane landed in Zurich. "We need space from you. Please don't reach out anymore. At all." I read it twice, then once more, as if repetition might reveal a typo. There wasn't one. The passengers around me unbuckled, stood, reached for their bags. I sat still. The background hum of luggage wheels, chatter, seatbelts unfastening, all of it sounded like the static between heartbeats. No fight, no argument, just, "We need space." Plural. The plural told me everything. I didn't reply immediately. Instead, I stared at the screen until the phone dimmed and my reflection appeared, expressionless, unblinking. She'd been distant for months. Quiet laughter over late-night messages, sudden privacy around her phone, a new perfume that didn't belong to us. And yet, she smiled like nothing had changed. She kissed our kids goodbye that morning as if her world wasn't about to detonate. I unlocked my phone again, typed only 2 words, "Of course." Then, after a pause long enough to taste the decision forming, "Tell your lover I'll cancel my $500 million investor check." And I hit send. The silence afterward was beautiful, raw, electric. No typing bubbles, no reply. I walked off the plane, every step steady, precise. Years of corporate wars had taught me that power is best exercised quietly. By the time I reached my hotel, I'd received 20 missed calls. None answered. Her voice messages came next, urgent, shaking. "I think you misunderstood. Please call me, Daniel. Can we talk?" Talk. The word landed like a small, pathetic sound against the steel of my resolve. When I first built the company, she'd been my anchor. She'd believed in the vision before the investors did. But belief fades, especially when temptation whispers in silk. The science had been there, subtle shifts. Her calendar suddenly private. Her laughter muted when I entered a room. The way she said, "He's just a friend," too quickly, too easily. I remember once catching a reflection, her reflection, in a restaurant window, smiling at a message. The kind of smile she'd forgotten how to give me. And still, I said nothing. Because I was studying her. Because some truths are not caught, they are collected. For 2 weeks I worked. Meetings, presentations, investors, all while my world quietly cracked beneath the marble floor of my composure. I hired a private team, not amateurs, professionals who understood discretion. I gave them one instruction: confirm what I already know. They delivered in fragments, hotel receipts and names that weren't hers, photos of her car outside a lake house 2 hours away, a man's hand on her lower back at a restaurant we once loved. Each image arrived with a timestamp and the same dull ache behind my eyes. I didn't rage, didn't drink, didn't confide. I simply watched the puzzle form. Her lever wasn't just someone. He was one of the investors, the man who'd begged for my signature to seal a $500 million deal. He'd gained more than my trust. He'd gained my family. Every text, every look, every sudden whisper between them at board dinners, it all rearranged in my mind like pieces finally snapping into their rightful places. And the picture was perfect. Devastatingly perfect. So I planned. Not revenge, not yet. Precision. Because nothing ruins betrayers faster than the truth presented calmly. The confirmation came 3 days before my return. DNA results. Not for her, for my youngest son. I'd suspected it, quietly. The math never lied. Neither did genetics. The report was concise, scientific. No emotional language, just percentages. And in those percentages, my world recalculated itself. I printed the file, folded it once, placed it in my jacket pocket. When I arrived home, she ran to me, or tried to. Her smile trembled, her eyes wet, like she could wash away deceit with tears. "Daniel, please." I handed her the envelope. She froze. Her fingers trembled as she unfolded the page. The blood drained from her face before she even finished reading. Silence stretched. Then a whisper. "How long have you?" "Long enough," I said. No anger, no volume, just finality. She broke, softly, quietly, like glass under pressure. That night, they both arrived, she and him. He tried to speak first, his voice steady, corporate smooth. "Daniel, let's not make this ugly." I raised a hand. He stopped. "I'm not here to make it ugly," I said. "I'm here to make it clear." I slid my phone across the table. A live feed appeared. Board members, investors, the room where tomorrow's funding was supposed to close. I told them everything, I said, about the falsified documents, the insider leaks, the misuse of company funds, yours specifically. He went pale. "Daniel, you can't." I already did. My voice didn't rise. I simply watched him dissolve, cell by cell, as realization set in. "And as for you," I turned to her, "you can keep the house, the car, even the ring, but you'll never again use my name as a shield for your choices. No shouting, no theatrics, just silence, the kind that burns more than fire." By midnight, they looked exactly as I'd imagined they would. Pale, wordless, small. I left before sunrise. The city was quiet, wrapped in fog, thick enough to hide sins. I walked past the gates, past the memories, past everything that used to define us. There was no anger left, just a hollow precision. I'd given them everything once. Now I'd given them absence. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's silence that echoes. On the flight back to Zurich, I turned off my phone. For the first time in years, I didn't need to check for messages. I stared out the window at the slow dissolve of dawn, and thought how easily love becomes a transaction, and how, when the math no longer adds up, you simply balance the equation. My last thought before sleep: space granted. And in the silence she asked for, I finally heard myself again.